Welcome to the vlog. The saga continues. Found a barbershop. The only availability was 8:30 this morning, so I'm gonna head there now and see if they can't do anything to kind of fix. Okay, it's not perfect, but it is better, especially the back. We're just working with what we got now. Trash still hasn't been picked up. That's cool. But I got a phone call from my mailbox place. I've got a welder somebody sent to me. Company. That a company sent to me. They want me to do a review on my other channel. If you're interested in checking out the review of a super cheap Chinese-made welder, go to Studebaker Fabrication and check that out. That'll be up in a couple of weeks. But we're gonna go pick that up and just come right back to the house because it's cold and it's rainy and I don't want to be outside. It's just kind of a miserable time. Yeah. Okay, well, keeping with the tradition of just making bad vlogs, I'm just trying to figure out things to fill up my day with and record them so I can get more comfortable on camera, and then that gives me something to edit later on, so then I get practice there. And then every time I start talking, my dogs start walking around, and that's pretty annoying. But just to give myself something to do, my Monstera plant is kind of outgrowing its little pot here. I'm just gonna take some tin snips and cut it off. Hey son?
Yeah.
You know if you're trying to do the dishes, right?
All right.
Oh, we'll see. Looks good for now. It's a little bit more spread out. I think that's pretty cool. Next on the to-do list, I think we're gonna be taking down the kitchen table. You guys wanna go outside? Holy smokes. I love it. It's a great table. I like the bar height. It's got this cool Lazy Susan in the middle. It flips out. It's a pretty sweet table. If I were to, I mean, obviously, I picked this one, so yeah. I think we're gonna take it down and give it to Grandma, because when we were having Christmas dinner at Grandma's house, she didn't have her table. She gave it to her sister. So she didn't have a table, and she seemed kind of bummed about that. And she's already told me that she likes this one. So I think we're gonna take this thing down, and then maybe tomorrow we'll get up and take it over to Grandma's house. For us, this is just a flat space for junk to collect. And if there's one thing we don't need in this house, it's a space for junk to collect. What's kind of funny is out of all of the many times that I've moved, I actually had a dining room table in a storage unit that I had totally forgot about. If you would have asked me, I would have said wholeheartedly that I didn't have one. So I went on Marketplace and I found this thing, which I like better than the one that we had, but anyways. We found this one and then actually got to know the people that sold it to me, and ended up going to church with them and kind of making some new friends that way, which was pretty cool. Just gonna shift everything from this flat space over to this flat space. This actually goes to Grandma's house. Okay, this is definitely a two-person job. Kevin!
Yeah.
Come help me. what are we doing? We're going to take it apart. Up, and then that way, and then down. Do you have any tape in your room? Any like blue painter's tape?
Yeah.
Can you get some? Thank you. These are the supports that hold up the extensions when you have them flipped out. So slide it in and throw a piece of tape over it, just like that. Then you can move it around and don't have to worry about breaking nothing. Does that outlet look burnt? It's probably fine. Food. That's the new spot for your food, fat boy. Right there. Now that I've got all this room for activities, I think I have something that I would get a lot more use out of in this general space. Not your traditional kitchen furniture, dining room furniture, whatever you call this area. Question is, should it go this way or at an angle this way? I think it's going to stick out too far if we go this way. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Gonna have to fine tune some of the adjustments here. So we'll get some monitors and a steering wheel and some pedals and a shifter. Yes, TPS reports. Looks pretty good to me. Open the door. So obviously I don't have all the stuff to set this bad boy up yet. But I will. I think that's the next big purchase for the house. Get a nice steering wheel, set of pedals, shifter, handbrake, and gotta get 3 monitors. And then this thing has, still gotta tighten all the nuts and bolts on it. This thing's got all the speaker mounts for 5.1 setup. You got speakers by your head here. This is not the original chair. This is a cheap eBay racing seat. I do have the original seat. It's right here, covered in dog hair because my dogs like to sleep on it. That one's a heck of a lot more comfortable actually to sit in because it's a little bit wider. We'll just keep it in here for right now. The dogs aren't allowed in the gym, so. Yeah, I think we'll get a lot more use out of that than a kitchen table. We didn't need the kitchen table anyways. I think this thing's pretty sweet. It was actually free. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. There was an older gentleman down the road from my dad's place, had this thing out in his front lawn. I'm like, hey, what are you doing with that? He said, throwing it out. So I put it in the bed of my truck, and I've been lugging this thing around for years. I've actually never used it. So I think it'll be pretty cool to get it set up. We'll have a lot of fun with it. I've been looking at Moza? I'm not sure how to say it. M-O-Z-A. Pedals and steering wheels and shifters and all that stuff. Looks like they're pretty affordable for what you get. It's not the super duper cheap entry level stuff. Looks like it's a pretty good quality stuff. If you guys have any input on racing sims, let me know. Put a comment down. Let me know what you're using. I want this thing to be as realistic as possible. Looking for probably a direct drive wheel. If you guys are into this kind of stuff, let me know what you're using. What kind of monitors are you using? I was thinking about just buying some cheap TVs from Walmart, honestly, just to get us started. I do like the idea of having 3 larger TVs, maybe curved, so it kind of encompasses around instead of the flat panels. I think that would probably do the same thing, just about, but just the idea of 3 big curved TVs around this thing has me feeling right, you know? But we'll see. We'll get it figured out. All right. That's all for this one. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for, gosh, what would that be? Lucky 13.